Welcome everybody to this webinar. We're calling this AI for Ecom 2.0. Norm and I, what was it, July, Norm, that we did this?
It's
We
been a
did,
few months back, yeah.
yeah, like it back in July. We did one of these. It's very similar to this, and a lot has changed since then. I mean, it seems like every day something is changing. So we've curated some. I mean, there's a lot of smart people in this space, and there's some that aren't on this call that are just as smart and deserve to be on this call. But we tried to curate a mix of nine people. Eight of them are here today. One of them is not able to make it today, but he'll be on what we're doing on Sunday. But we're going to share with you some really, really cool tactics that you can use and take away right away. But just in case you don't know, Norm, what's this about? What's this?
It's a
Marketing
couple of
this?
misfits, just, yeah, being misfits. So Kevin and I have a podcast called The Marketing Misfits. We also have a really great newsletter, but if you haven't heard, you got to check it out. You can either subscribe on Apple or your favorite platform, or you can just go over to YouTube and check out the Marketing Misfits podcast.
Yeah, so the Misfits, we've been doing this for a little over 2 years now. We just hit our 2 year anniversary, April 30th. And we every single Tuesday a brand new episode comes out. It's not Amazon. You know, as some of you know that Norm used to have the Lunch with Norm podcast that was Amazon primarily, and I was doing the one for Helium 10 AM PM. We both don't do those anymore. We just do this one together. So we do have some people that are Amazon, but a lot of people that are not Amazon. So for a lot of you that are trying to go omni, get off to Shopify or get create funnels or get into the AI stuff, we have a lot of awesome guests. Neil Patel's been on, Forbes Riley. We've had some big names. It's not just just random people. There's some really big names and there's some really good content. And if you don't have time to listen to an hour every week that we put out, we started a newsletter called the Marketing Misfits newsletter. So we've taken that content of the last 2 years and we've kind of batched it together. So if we had a guest talk about email marketing a year and a half ago, another one talk about it 3 weeks ago, we've put those together into an issue. And then we send that out every single Wednesday. It just started. We're about 9 issues into it. I encourage you to check it out at misfits.news. It's different content than the Billion Dollar Sellers newsletter. So if you're on the BDSN, it's not the same thing. It's completely different. It's a different format, the way you read it, it's a different style. But the reaction we're getting, you know, it's small right now. There's about 1,000 people on it or so. But we're about to do some heavy promotion to get that up to over 100,000. But you can get in on the ground floor and get that initial stuff, initial information right now at misfits.news. Totally free. We're just getting it going. But the reaction we've had,
It's been
unsolicited,
crazy.
is
It's been
crazy.
crazy.
People like marketers, like top marketers going, this is freaking incredible. So if you don't have time to listen to the podcast, then I encourage you to go to misfits.news, sign up for the newsletter, and start getting the newsletter every Wednesday, and just skim that. And you're going to get some really cool stuff and valuable information out of it. So that's that's all the stuff that we have here. Let's go ahead and get the show on the road for you. So, like I said, there will be, for those of you that just came in late, yes, there will be a replay available, but we're going to have something pretty cool at the end that you're going to miss if you step out. Potentially could cost you a lot of money. So you want to stay for the next hour to hour and 15 minutes or so, if possible, so that you don't miss a single thing. What we're going to do is we're going to start with, I'm just going to go for about 15 minutes right now, and I'm going to catch you up on what's happening in AI. I know a lot of
You know
people.
what I'm going to do, Kev? I'm going to leave because you're going to talk. So I'm just going to leave for a
Okay.
second.
All right. Yeah, you go
I
take a
might
nap.
come in and interrupt you, but
Yeah, go take a nap, Norm. If you need to,
yeah,
just take a nap, and I'll wake you when it's your turn. You good with that?
I'm
Uh,
old.
yeah, so I'm gonna if you follow the Billion Dollar Sellers newsletter, you keep up. I know you can't read every single one of them, but you might have missed some things. And I know that people are busy, so they can't read everyone. I know there's a few people in here that don't miss one, but I'm gonna catch you up on what's been happening. Give you the Cliff Notes version for those of you that know what Cliff Notes are that are old enough. Those were like when you're in college or high school and you didn't want to read the whole book, you would just buy this little book for like a couple bucks, and it's like the summary. It's before AI would summarize stuff. So um, there's been 5 months of huge changes when it comes to AI and e-commerce. So we're going to talk about the money, what's working, where the money's going. We talk about the players. Most of you are on Amazon. They're the major one, but there's also a lot going on with Walmart and Google and the LLMs. And we're going to talk about the new rules. One of my favorites on that list over on the right side is MCP. MCP is ridiculously awesome, and it's going to change the way you operate your complete business if it hasn't started to already. It has mine. MCP is amazing, and it's yeah. We'll get into some of that. And UCP is going to change the way you sell. AEO, just we'll talk about that. So there's basically a shopping war going on right now. Amazon is still dominant. They haven't gone anywhere, but they're walling their garden. Um, when it was called Rufus, now it's called Alexis, but they were seeing conversion rates of almost three times off of Rufus chats. Amazon announced earlier this year that they have 100 million users that used it last year. Then you have Google, that's has a Walmart deal. They have the universal cart. Uh, Gemini now is setting up stuff where they can deliver in 30 minutes. That was just launched. I'm sorry, Walmart, not Gemini. That's incorrect there. It's Walmart can deliver in 30 minutes. Amazon is also testing this right now, so 30-minute delivery. So that's going to make a difference. If your product is not in stock and available for that 30-minute delivery, they might choose somebody else over you. Then you have OpenAI. They came out big last year and said, hey, we're going to create a shopping cart. You're going to be able to order, put multiple things in your cart from multiple places and pay. And they realized that didn't work. So they couldn't do it. So they killed it. It was a big hype, a lot of hype on it, and they killed it. And now they're pivoting to be just a concierge. And you got Walmart that's playing at the Google front and with their own Rufus or Lexic tool called Sparky. They also fired ChatGPT. They had a big partnership, and ChatGPT just wasn't performing for them. So they said, we're out of here. And I partnered with Gemini, which is Google, and which was smart. Then you have Microsoft with their Copilot. They just announced a Copilot checkout on the Microsoft platform. Etsy's in it first, and Shopify is coming up next. And then you have Anthropic, which is the owner of Claude, and they're at a level 3. We'll talk about that in a minute, which is really that's probably the best tool. They've overtaken ChatGPT, I think, as the serious players in AI are using Claude, not ChatGPT. They use ChatGPT for images, but for actual research and some of the other stuff, Claude is outperforming in most cases all the other LLMs for straight up research. Now, there's some times where you want to use Manus for certain things, and sometimes where you want to use ChatGPT. But as an overall general default, a lot more people are starting to go to Claude right now. AI sales are exploding. It's expected to do $20 billion this year in AI. That's not a lot compared to what Amazon, their top line is over 800 billion when you factor in first party and third party. You see different numbers but it's over 800 billion when you factor in both sides of the equation on Amazon. So that's still small, but that's bigger than TikTok right there. 20 billion is more than what TikTok did 15, it depends on the report, 15 to 18 billion last year. They may go a little over 20 billion. Some people are saying maybe 30 billion this year. But by 2029, the forecast is almost $150 billion in AI sales alone. And I think it's going to happen quicker than that. It's growing really, really, really fast, but that's the conservative estimate. There's lots of growth coming. I mean, AI agents, some of you have heard about this. They've been crude and not working really well, but it's getting better and better and better. And there's about 24 million in use right now, but they're expecting that to go to at least 126 million different agents, different style of agents that are going to be shopping. And that agentic commerce is going to be worth probably 300 to 500 billion. So another Amazon.com is basically being created through agentic commerce. And the agentic AI tools right now are still small, but AI is generating over 3 million daily shoppers. The LLMs, ChatGPT, they're actually looking, and that's growing. So it's still a tiny slice of the pie, but it's the early movers that get the advantage. Remember in 2012, if you sold vitamin C serum on Amazon 14 years ago, you had no competition. It's just you stick up the product, and yeah, the sales you might sell 50 or 100 units a day, versus now if you're number one, you sell thousands of units a day because it's grown. But you can ride that wave. The people that got in early back then were the ones that were exiting to the aggregators for gazillions of dollars. And that's where the opportunity is right now for you. So this is something you need to pay attention to. And that's what our speakers today are going to be showing you some of how to do that. Agents, don't underestimate about what agents are going to be doing. They're going to get this down. There's 6 levels of agentic commerce. So basically there's the level 0, which basically you do everything. It's the old school way. This is what we all know, what we all been optimizing for. You search, you click, you buy. Then you have the agents that are suggesting products. It's kind of like a smart recommendation. So there's a lot of this happening right now where instead of an agent will go to Amazon and go to Shopify and it'll look through the 50 different listings and it'll narrow it to three. So instead of someone seeing your listing by chance on a page of results, they're only going to see the three that the agent picked. So if you're not optimized for the agents, you're not going to make that cut, unfortunately, and the human will never see it to actually make the decision on which one they're going to buy. Then you have the next level, level two, where the AI actually fills your cart. Claude is doing that. Rufus, or now Alexa, is doing that. ChatGPT is doing some of that. Gemini, Google just announced this as well. And then the next level after, and then once it fills your cart, then it still says, "Hey, Kevin, do you want this? This is what I found. I have to hit the button to buy it." The next level is it actually does the checkout. You store your credit card, and it actually says, "I know Kevin wants this. I'm going to go ahead and buy it. If he doesn't like it, he can return it." And then the next step is it's going to shop on its own. It's going to look at your Gmail and it's going to see that you ordered vitamin C tablets 30 days ago, and it's going to notice that you're not on subscribe and save anywhere. And so it's going to automatically go ahead and order another one for you 3 days before the 30 days runs out, so it arrives right on time. That's coming. And then the next one is AI runs your life. That's the next level of what's going to happen. So this is happening now. If you're not paying attention to it, it's going to hurt you, and it's moving quick, and things are going to change rapidly in the next couple of years. There's going to be some failures, just like Pets.com failed on the internet boom of 25 years ago. Some of those companies running Super Bowl ads that had no sales and spending millions of dollars on a Super Bowl ad. That there's going to be some failures and some stories where people say that oh, this is just a hype and it's going away. It's not going away. It's happening, and it's going to change. Amazon versus Walmart are two very different bets. Amazon is trying to protect themselves. That's why you can't download all your reviews right now. Used to be you could use software tools to go and download. You got 900 reviews, you just download them. Helium 10 will give them to you. You could use tools like Bach.ai or some of these others that will download them all. Amazon's blocking that now. You can still get 100, and there's ways to still get part of them, but they won't give you the whole thing because that's a walled garden. They want to protect that because that's valuable, valuable data. You have Alexa now as a shopping agent. You have AIs baked into almost everything. They want to keep that customer relationship at all costs. Walmart's the opposite. They're like, hey, we're going to partner with everybody. We'll team up with Google for shopping. We got Sparky. We tried ChatGPT. It didn't work, so we fired them, but we're going to go a different angle. We got 30-minute delivery now. We're going to using our stores. We have a Walmart store within 100 miles of every person in the United States, pretty much. So we can do a 30-minute delivery to a lot of these places. So they're trying to differentiate. So there's two different plays here that you got to look at. Like I said, OpenAI tried to sell stuff and then they quit. So now there's going to be an aggregator and a curator. They tried to do this and they're like, this is too hard. We can't do this. This is not what our specialty is. Let Amazon and the Walmarts and the Shopify's and the other guys that know how to do this do this. And what they found is retailers didn't want to give over their customers because the retailers are like, well, if you're capturing all the card information, then you get our customer data too, and that ain't gonna work because data is a moat. There's two moats in AI, only two. It's data and distribution. If you don't have a moat in either one of those, ideally you have it in both. You're on thin ice, and you're going to see this evolve more, where those are the two things that everybody protects at all costs. And AI is shifting from buy buttons back to discovery engines. And it's the winner who controls the front door, not the cart, that's going to win in this new era. Google just did it. They just announced a couple weeks ago at their big event that they're doing what ChatGPT tried to do, but they're doing it right. So they're building a cart on Google and then passing the final sale on to the merchant. So the merchant fulfills it. They keep the customer data. Yeah, I mean, Google knows what it is, but it's called Universal Cart. This is huge, especially if you're on Shopify. And it's basically their answer to Amazon's buy box. And Google controls most of the internet. So they're almost a monopoly out there when it comes to search and discovery. So it's going to be huge. And if you're not playing to this outside of your Amazon stuff, you're going to miss out on a lot of opportunity. So you need to be paying attention to what Google's doing. Rufus, which is now Alexa, is selling like bananas. Like I said, 3x conversion rate. People that use it are much more likely to buy. Amazon said that they had $12 billion of sales that they could attribute to Rufus, or now Alexa. So I'm using those names interchangeably now. And last year, it's growing like crazy. 100 million people used it. This is not something that's going to go away. Alexa is basically the new front door. And this is from Andrew Bell. He did a big study of the patent like a year ago. He predicted what's going to happen a year ago, and it just came true. But he did this big study on this patent, and there's a lot of voice. Voice is important now. You hear a lot of people talking about whisper and talking to the computer. Voice is really, really big. And if you're not tailoring to voice, you're missing stuff. Personal shopping with memory. Amazon has more data than anybody on the planet on most of us, other than maybe Google. And they have the data. They know what you ordered 7 years ago. They know if you have kids. They know if you have a dog. They know what kind of dog you have. They know everything about you. And they're starting to integrate that data into the suggestion. So it's not just gaming stuff on keywords and search terms now. It's behavioral data. And you got to know how to actually make sure you're targeting the right avatars and that data. And it's an orchestration. Alexa is basically an orchestration. It's a conducting the orchestra and tying all this stuff together. You should read Andrew Bell's patent if you want to geek out on some of this, as analysis on LinkedIn of the patent. If you want to see really how this works. Right now, instead of a ranking game, it's an answer game. We're switching. We still got to ride that side of straddling both sides, but instead of ranking, it's answers. If someone tells you I'm ranking in ChatGPT, that's there is no such thing as ranking because my answer is different than Norm's answer, different than any of your answers. We may see different things. It's an answer game based on a whole bunch of additional data that it knows about us and predictive predictions. So you got to be the answer. You got to be the answer that or that Alexa gives. You got to be the answer that ChatGPT or Claude gives, because 60% of Google searches are zero click, 65% of Bing searches are zero click, and 35% of brand traffic now comes from AI. It's big. A lot of shoppers they're never seeing the results. They just take AI at its word and trust it. So if you're not doing this stuff right and building your listings and your products and your brand correctly, you're going to miss out. AI also cites different sources than what Google uses to rank. Google just put out, if you saw my newsletter today, Google put out a paper last week about LLMs and stuff, and they tell you basically what to do and what not to do. And they say there's a lot of hype and BS out there. Don't listen to it. And this is what you need to do. It's still an SEO game, but with an AI twist. There's a lot of similarities there. But if you're not, and if you notice at their event, they just changed. If you've been on Google lately, they're slowly rolling this out, so it might not affect you yet. But the AI is becoming much more dominant at the top. It's not just the AI summaries anymore. It's basically becoming those 10 blue clicks are going away. And AI's Google's got the knowledge and the data to execute this really, really well. So you've got to earn that coverage and get cited, not just ranked. And it's a new game. It's a new era. And Amazon is using this too. Amazon doesn't just use what's on their platform. They look outside of Amazon to actually help decide what they're going to show you. So they're using outside data that this plays into too. So this is not just an off Amazon play. Then the most exciting thing for me is MCP. Some of you are going, what the hell is MCP? MCP is basically like USB-C, the little thing that you plug into your phone or your laptop or your iPad or whatever to give it energy. It's universal. It doesn't matter if you have a Samsung or an Apple or a Google device or whatever. It all works. The same plug works. That's basically what MCP is for AI. So that AIs can talk to each other. And so one of the most powerful things on this is you can hook up an MCP to a data source and talk to it in your way. Right now, if you go to Helium 10 and you want to pull some reports, you're limited by what Helium 10's options are. They've got buttons that says pull the last 100 reviews or see some filters and stuff that you got to play with. That's the old way. The new way is you just talk to it. You say, show me the three keywords that have had at least 10 clicks and zero sales in the last 30 days that aren't this, this, and this, and make me a report in a dashboard that updates me every single day of the newest ones in here, automatically deactivate them if they meet this certain criteria. And you just talk to it and write that as a prompt, and it uses the data and just does it. That's completely different. That's what MCP can do. All the software tools, the Helium 10s, the Jungle Scouts, all these, they have to have MCP or they're going to die. This is the new tool, and if you don't know how to use MCP, by tying MCP into your data structure and into your operations, you gain a massive competitive advantage, massive. And if you're I can tell you right now, of 2 million sellers on Amazon in the United States, those of you that are the several hundred of you that are on 500 of you or whatever that are on this webinar, you're most people aren't going to do this. You're going to be in the top 1 or 2% if you're doing this, and you're going to have massive, massive, massive advantages on what you can do, how fast you can do it, how fast you can get the data back and your answers back and make changes. You're going to leave your competitors in the dust. So I have a new rule at Dragonfish with me and Norm, or Norm and I have a new rule at Dragonfish that if it doesn't, a tool that we need to use for our email services, if it doesn't have MCP, we cancel it, and we go to something else. It has to have MCP, or we're out. It's massive, massive switch in the way you're going to be operating. There's something called UCP, not to be confused with MCP, just changing the first letter. This is a universal commerce protocol. This is for the agents to talk to each other and transact. So the MCP is for you to query a database to actually get the data and the results and make the changes you need to make and operate in your business. UCP is for the different platforms, the Shopify's, the Amazons, the Stripes, the Etsy's to all interact together and have a unified structure so that you can actually shop across them all without all these different idiosyncrasies. So Google and Shopify, Stripe and Etsy are pushing it, and Meta is pushing it. And Amazon's right now kind of they're kind of stepping back and kind of waiting to see what happens because they're not they want to protect that walled garden. So could route people around Amazon. It could affect Amazon. It could actually take a chunk of Amazon sales away if this takes off. Amazon's not going away, but it could actually hurt them. So it's going to be interesting see how this develops. But it's major, and you need to optimize for it now because the real agents are here. Some of you probably heard of OpenClaw. A lot of people I know, Rob Green, I don't know if he's on this call or not, but I think he's going to be at Market Masters in Austin, I believe. But he's set up like 20 Mac Mini servers and gave them each one of them has a different name, and they're basically like a different VA, and they do special tasks, and they're all working together behind the scenes. And he was able to one eliminate some of his staff, and also then make the staff he retained more effective and more productive. There's these tools are crazy. I mean, there's developers out there that are using Claude code and stuff to write software, and in Silicon Valley they call them the software vampires because these guys are not. It's not that they're working less because now they have tools to make it. They're going deep down these rabbit holes, going, "This is cool. I can do this and this and this," and they just sit there and like just amaze themselves at what they can do and how efficient they are. OpenClaw, though, requires that you be a little bit technical, and you kind of have to be a little bit of a geek to figure that out for the most part, or an engineer. Hermes, the other one that just recently came out, does about 95% of what OpenClaw does, but you don't have to be geeky to do it. That's the new one that's running a bunch of agents and works across. It's very similar to OpenClaw, but easier to use and easier to set up, and not as technical. And that one, a lot of sellers are starting to use as well to automate their entire systems. There's basically 5 agent roles that every seller needs to be thinking about when it comes to agent. You can think of these like hiring an employee. Each one does a specific job. You need one that does your triage, does your basic, admin stuff, sorts your messages. You need one that writes copy and your listings and replies. You need something that does iteration, does all the A/B testing, the revisions, and trying to improve it. You need something that's intelligent that can actually pull out all your data, the competitor data. You need one that can do the operations, the repetitive tasks, the repetitive reports. These are going to be part of the sophisticated sellers and the advanced sellers and the sellers that are making the millions of dollars. These are going to be part of their team in addition to the humans. And in some cases, they already are. I know a $100 million seller here in Austin that's got all this stuff built in already. And it's made them so much more efficient. They're making more money and they can move faster and they're growing as a result of doing all this. There's 2 big traps you got to avoid. You can't just slap AI designed on your brand. You can't just slap There's a lot of AI slop out there, and there's a lot of anti-AI sentiment, as there should be, because there's a lot of crap. But the people that understand the tools and understand how you can use these tools and how you can use these to your advantage, not just to produce cool little graphics of monkeys jumping up and down, on a banana or whatever, but actually use it for business efficiency, they're the ones that are winning. And it's massive. It's a very, very, very small percent of the population that understands this stuff. They just know the basics of what they see, and it's slop. And then the cost of falling behind, that's why you guys are here. It's because you want to stay on the cutting edge. It's going to cost you. If you get behind it, you don't need to be the expert. You just need to be a step ahead of most of your competition. And if you do that, you're gonna win. And that's what we're gonna show you today with our talks from these experts. They're gonna show you some tactics and some ways that you can stay ahead of your competition. So if you guys are ready, it's time to go to work. And we want to share some experts with you and some tactical stuff. Norm, are you still sleeping?
I just finished my cigar.
Which one did you have?
The one that you didn't give me yet.
Oh, the Hiki?
Yeah,
Oh, how did you get it then?
I just made it up. I'm old.
Well, you wanna introduce our speakers here?
Okay, well, who is the first speaker, Kev?
The first one, this is the order we're going in right here. Our
And
first
Ritu couldn't make it, right? So we're going to do a recording with her.
Yeah, Ritu is in India right now, and she was like, she told me, messaged me yesterday, said, Kevin, I'm going to stay up. It's going to be like 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to stay up and do this. And then she sent me a message a couple hours ago and said, I'm exhausted. I don't think I can do this. So I recorded it. So just for her, I'm going to play her recording right now for you guys, and then the rest of them we're all here live to share with you. So. Uh, Most of you know Ritu. She's one of the top in the space. Always tinkering. She's got a great newsletter that covers the AI stuff. So I will go ahead and hit her let her play since she's sleeping in India right now.
Hey guys, my name is Ritu Java. I'm the CEO of PPC Ninja. We are an advertising and creative services agency for the AI era. Sorry I couldn't join live today, so I'm sending my recording. So today I will show you a magic formula, which is equals AI. So it goes like this. As you type AI, it allows you to add a prompt and then the range on which that prompt should act. Now I'm going to show you a few demos of where this can be used and where it can be used at scale. So let's pretend that we're doing some listing rewrites. I have my product title in the first column, column A. In my second column, I have this AI prompt, which is equals AI. What I'm saying is rewrite this as an SEO optimized Amazon title under 200 characters, front load with the main keyword. And then I'm putting this magic here, which says and A3, and that's the range, which is this cell. And same thing for this, I have used this prompt here, AI, write 3 benefit-driven Amazon bullet points for and A3, which is this one. Now let's pretend I wanted to do this for all of these products. I can simply drag this down and immediately the AI starts to generate responses to each of this. You see how fast this is going, right? Now let me show you another example of review mining. So let's say you have a bunch of reviews. Here are 3 prompts that I have put up here for you guys to see and copy if you need to. But essentially, the first one is telling me whether this review sentiment is positive, negative, or neutral. The second one is telling me extracting the single biggest complaint from this review, and the third one is basically just classifying it as a theme like quality, shipping issue, size, battery, service, etc., etc. So now again, this is as easy as dragging my formula down, and it simply acts on a gigantic data set right here. And as I speak, this gets filled out, which is pretty cool, right? Okay, next, another example, search terms, right? Let's say we have a bunch of search terms like in this column, and I've given it my product, and I've said my product is a stainless steel insulated 32-ounce water bottle. Is this term relevant or it's a negative candidate? So let me look at the second search term here. It's a plastic water bottle, so it should come out as negative, right? So let me again copy these two and just drag the formula down. Let's see what happens. It's generating. And it says, yes, it is a negative candidate. It also gives you the reason that it is a wrong material, not stainless steel, and so on. Now, let me give you the fourth example here. I'm just calling it magic row because in one row you can do so much. So let's say this is my product idea and I want to generate a title. Simply say equals and then make it act on the cell, generates bullet points, also asking it to translate it in German. You want to do whatever language you can do all languages, and then also generate backend keywords. So all of this, again, I can simply drag this down and apply it to the other products that I have here, and boom, it does it at scale. One last example for those of you who do some sales work like CRM, etc. So here I'm asking it with a lot of contact emails and last product purchased, I'm asking it to extract the likely company name from this email domain, and then next write a friendly 2-sentence reorder reminder email for a customer who bought the product in cell B3. So I'm going to just drag this down. So as you can see, this one says outdoor gear company. So it's pulled out the name and so on. So this is kind of cool because everything is happening at scale and very fast as I'm speaking. So let me summarize by saying why should we do it in Sheets? Why not just take it to an LLM directly? Yes, you can do that, of course. But the moment you start having lots and lots of things to do, it becomes much easier to do it in spreadsheets. Scales with a drag, one prompt, hundreds of rows as fast as you can pull the corner down. It's a pipeline, not a chat, right? So remember that it isn't going to do all the things that you can do in a chat. But because this is something that is already built into spreadsheets, you can just feed your AI into filters, ifs, pivots, so that the output drives the next step automatically. So it's very convenient for anyone who's good with spreadsheets. This is a no-brainer. It stays live and shareable. So imagine your entire team can see all of this, and it has a certain permanence to it that chats don't, and everything is very nice, neatly organized, and so on. You can change the cell, row generates, the prompt sits in the formula bar for your team to see, tweak, and reuse. Now, I would like to say this, the honest ceiling, that there are some daily rate limits, but it's not that small. I mean, you can generate, I think, yeah, hundreds and hundreds of cells with the inbuilt Gemini prompt. So yeah, so try it out. If it works for you, this is actually pretty cool. It does need the Gemini workspace. Even if you have the basic kind of business standard account, this will work for you. So that was my hack. Hope you liked it. Thanks.
Awesome. That was Ritu.
I think that was Ritu on double speed.
Yeah, it was. She's like, I gotta get this into 5 minutes or less. So that was Ritu on double speed. So uh, next up, I guess you want to introduce the next speaker, Norm?
You know what, Kev? Jay always gets me because I always pronounce his last name wrong.
It's one of
Try
those
it.
like, French names with a guy that lives in Israel. So,
And it's Margolot, right? Margolot.
Margaliot.
I see, even there.
Close.
awesome. Well, Jay, we'll turn this over to you if you want to go ahead and share your screen.
Yeah, I'm doing it now. Just let me know that you can hear me and see my screen.
Yep,
Okay,
yep, looks good.
cool. Okay, so I'm Jay Margaliot, super excited to be here, and thank you for having me. I'm going to show you a quick hack how to use Claude Code. I'm going to talk about the revolution that we have here. It's crazy. How in one prompt you can replace your photographer, copywriting, video team, everything. So yeah, that basically is a prompt, but I'm gonna share with you. So that's a product, just a random product I found on Amazon, this football for pool. So I'm gonna take this, basically this link, this ISIN, and again, this is, one second, this is basically Claude Code desktop. So that's the prompt, okay? I connected my Claude Code with MCP to Generapt. It's a new tool, not mine. And you can basically do everything for creatives. This way you can talk to Claude Code and do it. So I'm gonna run it and I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna jump. I want to skip the way so you can see it's the same prompt, similar. So what it basically does is connected with the MCP to this tool and is reviewing the product, download the images, create marketing analysis, and create images, create videos, create A+. I did it in the last few days. I did a lot of products, and I was super excited about it. So you can talk to him, you can talk to Claude what you want, what not, and then you can see all the results here. And you can go either to the tool itself. So again, I prepared it before, and I want to show you the results and tell me if it makes sense. After like, it's 1 minute of work from your side, and that's the result.
So
So I
just to
just
clarify, Jay, just to clarify, Gen Rupt is a plugin, a Claude code, a Claude Cowork plugin or Claude plugin.
it's generally it's a tool that we have MCP to Claude Code. It's like a website. You can go to genrap.com. I'm gonna share the link to the instruction. They basically build the instructions how to connect it with
Okay,
MCP. So you
cool.
just need to pay for credits. And in GenRap, they have access to Nano Banana, ChatGPT images, and Seedens too, all the models, and you
Okay.
know how to do it beautiful for Amazon. So that everything I got from it. Ready to use images, and I want to show you. This is the image, and you have like main images and beautiful listing images. It's like, yeah, you can see the quality. I think it's GPT. Yeah, and you also have A plus that we can I can show you the A plus. So I used to pay thousands of dollars for this type and to wait uh, a lot. And now you can do it in one click. So just see the quality. And yeah, and of course you can tell him in Claude, you can talk to him, change the second image, change the third image. And for dessert, I can show you the video.
Grip that works, even when wet. Throws like a real football. Summer, locked in.
Yeah. So the video is maybe like only 15 seconds and it's not there yet, but it's almost there. But the images and the A plus, it's high level. I never saw something like this before. And yeah, just think about how much time it took before and money. Now you can do it in literally 5 minutes. First, one time you just need to connect it to Cloud Code, and then you can do it very fast. You can build skills to your product. You can do whatever you want. So yeah, you can scan this barcode if you want the guide how to do it. And yeah, so out here in Sunday, I'm going to talk not only about creatives, I'm going to talk about a lot of skills and use cases, how you can use Cloud Code to Amazon from a lot like MCP with to analyze how to analyze 50 competitors, how to create landing pages, a lot of cool skills. Some of them skills that I built, and some of them stuff that I found. And I'm going to share everything in Sunday. I'm super excited, and thank you very much. I think it was less than 5 minutes, right?
You did
Uh,
great.
Thanks. Yeah.
I'm
All
just
right.
copying this. There we go.
Who's up next, Norm?
Share the screen.
It's in your WhatsApp.
No. I got it. I got it. Okay, up next is Christian Rich. Where is Christian? Oh, there he is. There he is.
How's it going, guys?
Good.
Good. I'm subbing in for our CEO, Max Sinclair. I know I had came on the screen initially to some of these guys with Max's name and it confused everybody. So got my right name up there now. So
Well, it's the accent that confused us. That's what it was.
well, right. I could try to do a British accent, but it would probably end up coming off as Australian, and then that would just like mess it up even more. So we'll just stick with my normal accent, the Southern accent here for everybody. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, if you want to go ahead and share your screen, we'll turn this over to you.
Yeah, cool. Let me see if I can get this to work. You guys see this?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, cool. Well, first of all, I'm Christian. I work with Azoma. I'm leading go-to-market here in North America. So excited to be with everybody here today. Coming in from Atlanta, Georgia, which is sunny, like at the moment, at least. So yeah, just in the next like 3 minutes, I'm going to talk to you guys about a quick way that you can start to show up better in the new world of Alexa. I've actually had to change this slide in the last 2 weeks because this used to be Rufus. So Rufus is driving a lot of what we see in the Amazon funnel now. If you've noticed on Amazon the past few weeks, if you go to the search bar, you're even starting to see some of these Alexa questions pop up. And we've seen some of this data from a buddy of mine, Ian Simpson. I worked on this report with him out of Q1. We're seeing that Alexa is driving higher conversion. 60% of Amazon sessions now involve Alexa engagement. We'll see on the next slide what we actually think that means. It's not necessarily people doing this ChatGPT style. Amazon's baiting people into using Alexa. And we see conversion rate compared to Q4 has actually gone up in Q1 with some of this. And that new shoppers are actually engaging with Alexa just as much as some of our more seasoned shoppers with that. So, how is this actually happening? Well, if you go to the product page, this is where we get the best hint of how to surface better in Alexa. At our company, We work with some of the biggest brands in the world on this, and how we have driven more visibility with them is really simply just answering the right questions that are being asked in their category. So if you're looking for a hint on how do I surface better in Alexa, how do I pop up when somebody asks these questions in our category, answering the questions that are being asked the most on your product detail page in your category is the most practical way that you can do that. So like even with Jay, with what he just showed with some of those really cool pictures and videos on the last presentation, if you can even answer some of those questions in your images, Alexa is looking at things like that, your Q&A, reviews, but then also just the copy that's on your page, making sure that when somebody comes to your page, that you're answering these questions the right way gives you double the chance to convert than we previously had before Alexa existed. So really exciting times. Amazon, unlike ChatGPT, is baiting people with the right things to convert. It's a little bit less of an open prompting system within Amazon in terms of how people are using this. So if you can be positioned in whatever category you're selling in to answer like just call it the 3 to 5 things that people are asking the most, you have a good shot of converting better on Amazon right now. So that's all I got.
Awesome. And
Perfect.
Max will be here on Sunday doing an hour deep dive on like step by step and ways to actually figure what she should be doing and everything, right?
It's a little more complicated than I just gave in the last 3 minutes, but I think like if you just want something as a teaser towards that, really easy way to start to think about the Amazon world. But as you very very so eloquently explained earlier, Kevin, there's a lot more to the puzzle than just Amazon as we think about like the AI shopping landscape. And Max is going to be doing a deep dive on that on Sunday. So
Awesome. Cool. Appreciate it.
So, Kev, before we go to the next speaker, there are some questions that came in about downloads. How can people access the files like Ritu's file?
That the replay that'll be on the replay.
Yeah,
But
but can she? Okay, but she's not providing that file, that
not that, no,
specific
that
file.
file she showed the prompt to use. So that was an AI prompt to actually add into your Google Sheets or your Excel that will actually create that. So you would create your own columns and then you would use that AI and that prompt to fill in a column and drag it down. So there's not really anything to share on hers, because you would just set up whatever you want to do and use that AI prompt to actually make it tie into Claude and actually do everything. Or
Yeah,
Gemini.
and somebody was also asking about Jay's, and he's put his link
Yeah,
in.
Jay put
So
the link in the chat as well. There's a QR code on the screen, so if you missed that or if you're watching this on the replay, you can scan that QR code because you can't see the chat. But Jay also put it here in the chat to everyone. I see the full guide, so you can click and check in there and
perfect.
see that.
Now I've got my job to do.
Good
The
job.
next speaker is Matthew Turvey. Pretty simple.
Thanks, Norm. Hey, everyone. I'm Matthew Turvey. I'm from the Titan Network. And full transparency up front, I'm not an AI guy. Tried to be on the bleeding edge of AI, mastered mid-journey prompts, and then Jay just dropped something, a few months later of how you can make an entire listing in a fraction of that time. So I was like, can't spend any more time being on the bleeding edge here. I've got brands to run. I've got brands to manage. So I'm really been waiting for this world to kind of calm down a bit and find something that actually works. So I want to drop something pretty simple hack for you today. And it's all going to be focused around the question, are you converting better than your competitors? I've been to many of Kevin's events, there's hot seats, and the panel always throw this question out like it's a really easy question to answer. That data is not just available. Your competitors' conversion rates are not there just easy to be found. You can find some like category averages. There's a few tools out there where you can kind of decipher a range. But what I want to show you today is how you can really zoom in to the key battleground keywords and compare your conversion rate against like for like products that you're actually fighting in the same price band of, and the keywords that you're fighting in the same price band of, and where the sale on those keywords is happening in your price band. So that's the gap, and that's what we're going to close today. And the reason they answer this question over and over is, are you converting better than your competitors?
Are you sharing your slides, Pat?
I will. It's just going to be a
Oh,
live
I just want to
demo.
make sure you weren't
Just-
okay.
just-
All right,
yeah,
cool.
no,
Just
no.
make sure we didn't have a technical problem. Okay.
No worries. The reason this question is so important is it tells you where the next dollar is going to go. Is it to fixing your offer, your listing, because your conversion rate is not, your offer is not the winning offer? Or is it, yes, your conversion rate is the winning offer, so you need to spend the next dollar on marketing and amplifying that offer? So you get this question wrong, you waste a lot of money and waste a lot of time. So we're going to be using the brand analytics report. You can find that in Amazon, search analytics, search query performance, and then you download it for your ASIN. You can use a monthly report or a quarterly report, quarterly more data, monthly more recent data. But the data in there is quite messy. In the past, we've had these big spreadsheets that try and these big Google Sheets that you kind of try and infer the data. But today I'm just going to give you a simple prompt that I've created that really drills down to the data that you want. So what this prompt does, and I will drop it in the chat at the end, so don't worry about that, is it throws out the noise, throws out the low volume keywords. It creates you two conversion rates, both your clicks to cart and your clicks to purchases, because some of the attribution on Amazon's a bit funny on the purchases. So it gives you both of those to compare against the market. And it also filters out keywords where the sale is not happening in your price band. And that's really key as well. And then it ranks by Amazon's own importance. So we're going to do a quick run through. Can you see Evening Matthew, Kevin?
You do.
Awesome. All right, so I've got my MD file here. I've wrapped the prompt. It's a 129 line prompt wrapped in an MD file, which I will be sharing. And I've got my CSV here. When we started this call, Opus 4.7 was the latest model. By the end of this call, it's not. That just shows you how quick this thing is running. Okay, so what it's doing here is it's running through the CSV. And of course, you can just drop the CSV into Claude and say, analyze this. But as operators, we still have a brain. We can still train the AI to pick out the key points because we know that the AI, it lacks context and it can make mistakes when we're not training it properly for what we're looking for. So it's confirmed that it's looking at a quarterly range. And now it's going to break down the SQP analysis. I'm hoping very quickly. It was certainly quicker when I wasn't on a live call, but we're going to stick with it. So the way it's going to do this, it's going to filter out those keywords I mentioned. As you can see, the analysis is now complete. So 95 keywords passed the volume filter. It filtered out keywords where the median price was not happening within the price range of my selling price. And then it broke down and answered the question. The verdict is yes, decisively. I am converting better than my competitors. It shows me the top 5, the market add to cart rate versus my brand's add to cart rate or my ASIN's add to cart rate in the top 5 keywords, the top 10 keywords, and the top 25. Then on the other side, the purchase conversion rate, clicks to purchases. Again, the market versus my brand. Also within this prompt, it's got going to give you 6 suggestions, 3 keywords to fix. These are going to be keywords where you are converting worse than the market. So it might be that you haven't properly answered in your listing or shown that you're relevant for this keyword. And it's also going to give you 3 keywords to push. So here it's looked at where do I have an impression share gap? It's looked at impression share and where keywords that I'm below the median impression share and thinks there is more room to push here. So for example, here, my brand's add to cart rate is 53%. The market's is 33%, but my impression share is only 3%. There is more meat on the bone here. This is a keyword that you can push harder. So those are the key insights we can then take away as well. I didn't even realize that I need to be bidding more on phonics. I need to get that impression share up because I am winning on this keyword. So as I said, I'll drop that prompt in there. Now, what are we going to do on Sunday? What I just showed you there was manually pulling a report, uploading it into AI, and then training the AI onto how to read that report. On Sunday, we're going to take away the manual report pulling. We're going to be using parent level reports. So often you can only use child level reports. We're going to aggregate all the children into a parent level report so you can see your actual parent comparison versus the market. Again, without any manual upload and download. We're going to take away that big long prompt. And we're also going to give it connect it to the context of your business. For example, your PPC data, your rank data. So we're able to get to that answer with any of those 4 things. So be back on Sunday.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So just to explain to people, so some of the people on here, they get it, what is an MD file? It stands for Markdown, but basically, can you just in layman's terms, like you're talking to a fifth grader, just explain that, what that is for those that don't understand?
Well, that's the wonderful thing about my opening line, Kev, when I said I'm not an AI guy, is I don't really know. I know I've seen the term around, and I asked Claude, I was like, how do I wrap this prompt in an easy file so I'm not copy and pasting 129 lines? And it says use an MD file, you idiot. And I was like, okay, I will.
Yeah, so an MD file is basically a standardized way. It's called Markdown, so it's a standardized way of formatting instructions, so that different tools can actually understand. Similar to JSON in the programming thing, which is standard. So it's kind of like a Word doc that has a bunch of extra notations in it. When programmers code, they put number signs and they put notes inside the code that the code skips over, but that helps explain sections and stuff. And that's kind of what a markdown file is too. So that it's something that Claude will read when you attach it, like Matt just showed. It will read that and it will follow those instructions when it's actually doing its analysis. And like he said, you could just upload the SQP to Claude and say analyze this, but it's just going to do whatever it generally wants to do and whatever it finds on the internet that it should be doing. But when you put an MD file, and like he said, it had 129 lines, I think you said, it's 129 lines that this is the way I want it done for me. This is how it's applicable for my business. This is what I want to extract from it, not the general knowledge. So MD files are super, super important when you're using any of these LLMs to actually make it fit to your business and your systems. So that was great, Matt. Appreciate it. And so
Yeah,
he's
just
going
the
to
thing
share
with the
that file. You're going to share. You're going to
Yeah,
post a
yeah,
link in the.
it's in the chat already.
Okay, great.
And just for anyone that's on ChatGPT or any other one, you will get the same output if you use that. You can use that MD file and your search query performance report. Do it in ChatGPT. You don't have to use Claude.
Awesome. Great stuff. Appreciate that, Matt.
No worries.
We'll answer more questions at the end. Like Norm said, we'll answer more questions at the end.
All right. Now, I think there's some confusion with some people about the search query report. So you have to go into your brand in Seller Central and download that separately.
Yeah, in Seller Central, you can go into the advertising and you can download the SQP report. It's under all the other reports where you do brand opportunity and product opportunity and all that kind of stuff. You can find it there. And so you can set a range and you can just download that report there. And that's what he used to attach. So all of you that have a Seller Central account have access to that. It doesn't require any.
Yeah, and I think he said he was using the quarterly report.
Yeah, I think he did say
Yeah.
Quarterly
I
report.
use the monthly too.
Oh, you use the monthly too?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Okay, our next speaker is our buddy Chris Rawlings. Where are you, Chris? There he is.
Right here, brother. Just having my cigar. Just kidding. I'm gonna wait until the next Marketing Misfits retreat to do that.
All right.
There you go. February
Yeah.
of next year. February of next year in Tampa.
Oh, Tampa. That's like the heart of cigar culture in America, I feel like.
It is. That's why we do it there.
That's perfect. Nice. Yeah, I'm in. You guys know I'm in.
Perfect.
Awesome. We gotta get you in the WhatsApp group, the cigar WhatsApp group that we have.
Get me in there. Well, I didn't even know Norm was a sommelier
Yeah, he's like
until the Nashville retreat.
Yeah, he's like a massive cigar sommelier. Like he knows more than anybody I've ever met about cigars.
I know, and he recommended me too that were actually
And
they
he,
knocked me on my ass, but in a good
he
way. I love them.
and the best thing about being a sommelier is I can make anything up, and you'd believe me.
That's what we were saying. I know. You'll get hints of tennis shoe and
Mhm.
hints of concrete brick in this one. Nice. Okay, guys. Yeah, I'm gonna actually Max Sinclair's sidekick over there. Sorry, bro, I didn't catch your name, but the Alexa conversation teed this up perfectly because he started to talk through what you should do to what things you can do to optimize to show up in Alexa. And Kevin talked about the importance of it and where this is going. Now, I'm going to walk through with you guys how you can shortcut the process of optimizing your listings to show up in Alexa Shopping, formerly Rufus, and through that process, show you how you can iterate on Claude skills that do complex functionality, but with consistent output. That's the big thing. That's the reason that you want to use a skill rather than just prompting when it comes to utilizing Claude. So let's jump into it. AEO is the new SEO. AEO is answer engine optimization, and this means making sure that you show up in the agent's answers when people ask about a problem that they have or a product that they want. You want your product to show up, right? So this is totally different than SEO, which is convincing the ranking algorithms to show you for a specific keyword. For us, we're talking about a keyword on Amazon, but SEO also applies to Google. They're two completely different sciences. And as I'll show you in a stat in a second, they don't necessarily overlap. You can have really good SEO and really bad AEO, really good AEO and really bad SEO. That is actually possible. Or you can have really good SEO and really good AEO, which is what we're going to go through right now in the next couple minutes. So I'm going to have to go very quick here to stay on track. So we're all used to this left-hand side screenshot that I have, right? We want to show up at the top when somebody searches a keyword related to our product. That's been the whole game on Amazon since the very beginning of the third-party marketplace that let us third-party sellers sell in the platform is how do I rank for keywords? Basically, the only two ways to get sales are to pay for them with PPC or get them organically by ranking for keywords. Now is the whole game. The AEO path, which is getting more and more important, it's still not quite as important as SEO yet, and I'll show you exactly how much in a stat in a second, but it's getting more and more important. Looks like this. They're literally just forking up your product to a customer based on a specific set of attributes, which I'll cover in a second. So the reason that this matters is shoppers using answer engine optimization, as the gentleman who spoke a couple speakers ago just mentioned, it's even new shoppers are using this. So shoppers that are coming online are using AEO. Shoppers that have been on Amazon for a while are using, not using AEO, using agentic shopping. Shoppers who have been shopping with keywords for a while are starting to convert over to agentic shopping. So the share of total purchases happening from agentic, specifically Alexa shopping, is growing very quickly. Right now, Rufus, formerly known as Rufus, now known as Alexa shopping as of last week, now accounts for about 1 out of 5 sales. So it's like 20%. That's quite a lot. And this stat is a couple months old. I actually believe that it's probably a little bit above that by now. We don't have the official figures, but these are estimates. And I think from between 12 to 18 months from now, that's probably going to be up to between 35 and 45%. So it's growing so quickly. And it's getting, as time goes on, it will be less and less important for you to focus all your efforts on organic ranking and more important for you to focus your efforts on answer engine optimization, showing up for the agent. So now we're going to talk about how to do it. So I'm going to skip ahead a little bit because a lot of this context was covered by the earlier speakers. But here's the one thing that I want to prove to you guys, which is more and more we're used to using AI to like make things that we already do happen faster, right? Oh, I do keyword research. It takes me about an hour and a half per product. How can I use Claude to do my keyword research for me in 8 minutes instead with the same quality output? So things I would already do, how do I do them faster? That's one way that we use AI. Optimizing your listing for showing up with agentic search in Alexa shopping. This is one of the things, and there's more and more of these things coming up, that it's actually not something that you can do properly as a human that then is done faster with AI. It's something that really should only be done with AI, because there are 15 dimensions. There's a whole paper on this. I know Kevin referenced Andrew Bell's breakdown of the paper. This is a public paper that was released on how Alexa Shopping's, formerly Rufus's and Cosmo's algorithm or backend logic works. And there are 15 different dimensions that it's associating when a shopper asks, using not just their prompt, but all the information that it already has about the shopper and their needs and their desires and their interests and all of that stuff. And within each of these dimensions, there are tens to hundreds of thousands of questions that relate to these in every different way. So you can see some of them on my screen here. The event when you use it, the alternative that it replaces, the time that it is used, the accessories that it would be paired with or that it is accessory to, budget, location, use case, capability, all these dimensions. And there are literally tens of thousands plus of questions that relate to every one of these. It's actually not possible for a human being to properly optimize a listing for AEO. You can do an estimated job by looking here at these questions, as it was shared earlier, the questions that are frequently asked about Rufus, and asking your own questions, and then trying to cover those questions. But that's like trying to carve like a Michelangelo sculpture with like a butter knife. Like, you're going to do a bad job. It's going to be very blunt. Whereas, and this is actually what we used to do before we had the capability of utilizing agentic AI to do this optimization for us inside my company, Sophie Society. We had to do this. We operate a portfolio of brands. We spend about $5 million a month on Amazon PPC ads. We have hundreds of brands in our portfolio. So we needed to be able to do this. And the only way to do it was to manually go through and make sure that we had all the top questions answered. That's a really blunt way to do it. And then you make sure that in the back end of your listing and the front end of your listing, and even the images, that those questions are answered. That's how to do AEO. But we built a skill for this inside Claude by continuously iterating in a working relationship with Claude what data sources we needed in order to properly, fully optimize our listing for AEO without sacrificing any of the SEO that we already had in it. So we made a light Claude skill through a ton of back and forth until we got it right with, consistent outputs, where we upload category listing report and some Helium 10 reports and the listing itself, and it does an analysis for us on what we could do to improve the AEO of the listing and make it show up for Alexa. And the output looks something like this. So you get an executive summary that tells you the main things that you're missing so that you know broadly what needs to change about the listing. You get specific scorecards that tells you these different dimensions and what's missing from those individual dimensions, who the product is for, who the buyer is, the people who actually use it day to day, and what to add throughout the listing in order to cover those questions that are frequently being asked relating to those dimensions. And it just tells you exactly what to add. It gives you the top questions that your listing isn't answering that it needs to answer. So in this case, is this glue actually waterproof once it cures or only water resistant? There's a big one, the difference between waterproofness and water resistant. This listing doesn't answer that, even though it's very commonly asked, or it's a big concern of shoppers based on the questions they're asking Alexa. And you can see a number of other ones here too. These can be answered in the FAQ. They could be answered in the bullet points. They could be answered in the back end, actual feature fields of the product itself. And they could even be answered in the images. And then it gives you what to put in the different attributes in your listing in Seller Central. You can even copy and paste them in there to help it AEO optimize. But then we want to go a level deeper and actually create a skill that just gives us the flat file upload of the new listing. And that's a lot of trust you're putting in Claude, right? Like if you really want like an upload ready, like just give me my new listing, you have to make sure that the skill is very refined and is producing consistent output. So this is where the skill of creating skills comes into play. To make a skill that has consistent output, you really have to test it with many different edge case scenarios. You're kind of in a way like vibe coding your own software in a sense, but rather than like a software interface, like a SaaS software, you're making your own miniature app inside Claude. And that's the art of making a skill that you can actually share, that works across different brands, that works no matter who is using it. And we wanted all of these other features from this Claude skill that we made that was pretty simple. And here's kind of what that looked like. We were continually iterating on the skill, and we ended up going through 5 different versions of the skill, adding safety nets, adding fixes to the actual outputs and optimizing the outputs, adding efficiency so it doesn't use up too many tokens, and then finally coming up with a skill that's ready to share broadly. And actually, if you guys come to the event that's happening on Sunday, you guys are going to get the opportunity to get this skill that we worked through different brands, different categories, and a couple of weeks to actually refine. So that's something that you guys will be able to get. And I'm going to show you what that looks like, and then we'll wrap this up. So the skill, and I don't know if I have time to go through this entire little recording here because I think it's about 3 minutes, but I have a few screenshots of what you see. Yeah, so here's what it really shows you in like an interface. You see the main things that you have to do next, the listing details and each of the different parts of the listing and what needs to change. You get a score and a quality check. It's doing analysis on the reviews, and you can cross-reference what is missing from it based on the reviews. It shows you what metrics to track to know if it works, and gives you like a plan to make sure that you can actually see the difference once you apply the changes. And then it literally gives you the flat file that you can upload. If you don't feel comfortable uploading a brand new flat file with a whole new listing, it just gives you a step-by-step implementation guide. And it looks kind of like this. So you have an interface where you see all of the major insights, similar to the light version that I shared before, but it actually goes deeper and gives you copy and paste ready sections, every section of the listing, both the front end and the back end. It also compares you to the market. So it's kind of a combination of Matt's skill and the skill that I shared earlier, where you could see, your click share, impression share, and purchase share, so that you benchmark whether you're below or above. And these are the main metrics that you're going to use to determine if this actually worked once you actually implement it. So you could see that's giving you the actual changes. In this case, it's telling you like how important each of the changes are. So this one, who it's for, it currently says woman, but it's more often searched for more specific terms like mom, daughter, best friend, bridesmaid, niece, and grandma. So all these words are missing, and these are commonly asked in the questions. This is a super easy fix, right? If those are on the listing, we're going to start showing up more instead of just saying it's for women, right? And that's just one example. There are tons of fields here, and it tells you how high the priority of each change is. Then you can either make those changes manually if you feel more comfortable that way, or it gives you like a straight up new flat file that you can upload that's likely to work because we've continually refined this. So I'm not going to go through each of the different sections that it does here because I don't have time to go through all of them with you, but I'm going to go deeper into this skill and 5 other key skills that every Amazon seller should have already built by us and highly refined. And through that experience, I'm actually going to be going deeper on showing you guys how to build your own skills that are refined, that work consistently, that handle edge case scenarios that you can share throughout your team. And you can build to handle any of the major repeating functions that you have in your business, and even replace entire roles that you'd normally pay, a full-time VA salary for or something like that. So looking forward to seeing you guys on the actual event. You'll also get the opportunity to get some of the skills that I mention on Sunday. If you show up live and you're there for the whole time, you'll get the opportunity to get them yourself as well. So thank you guys. This has been fun.
That's awesome, Chris. I think Kevin's on mute. And I like him when he's
You
on
like me
mute.
on mute, yeah. What is it you always say? Does my voice
Does
bug
your voice get on your nerves too?
you? Yeah. Who's up next, Norm?
Okay, we've got the mad scientist, Andrew Erickson.
Awesome. Excited to be here. Chris, before you go, please, can you commit to bringing the sword on Sunday?
Bringing the sword. Yes, I promise I will have the sword. I'll be in my studio,
Okay.
my castle.
That's one of Chris's signature. He comes to events and he has like YouTube videos and stuff. Check him out on YouTube. He does the sword thing. It's really cool. I love it.
Cool.
Awesome. Okay, cool guys. I have two for the price of one hacks for you. One is completely not AI, but I'm very excited about it and I have to share it because it just happened last week. I'm going to share. I don't have a fancy slide deck, but I did make something that's kind of fancy. And you know what? I'm just going to show like raw, real stuff, just to show that's not like some Photoshop thing, whatever. Here's my actual Slack channel. Here's my partner saying, "Look at that! We just got our $25,000 deposit refund from the Trump tariff just last week. It came in, so on the 18th." And so here we are, $25,000, including $1,400 of interest. I was very excited about that, and I know it's not AI, but I'm like, I have to share it. And I wrote an article about it here, just a full tutorial SOP, because I got a lot of questions from people on that, on how to look it up. I'm not going to go into full detail on here, and that's not what my workshop is about. This is just something that happened last week. I'm like, I got to share it with all you people. And for those who have a hard time with links because of the replays and stuff like that, this is a QR code. It's not a lead gen. It's just a link straight to that. It's just a QR code so people who are on whatever can do it. What I do want to share though, my hack for you guys is this thing I'm very excited about, this concept of an LLM wiki. So this is popularized by Karpathy, who's a really famous kind of like a AI influencer guy. He co-founded OpenAI, which is ChatGPT, and he also is the head tech of like self-driving cars at Tesla. So you like know he's super smart. Also love the fact that his name is Karpathy for self-driving cars. I don't know. I just thought that was fun. He has this concept of a LLM wiki, right? And what this is it really helps your AIs have really, really good memory. That's one thing we're having a really hard time with all of these bots. Have a bunch of like they're so incredibly smart, but they're also incredibly stupid at the same time, right? It's very frustrating. I'm always every single day I'm completely amazed at how amazing these things are, and I'm also blown away by how freaking stupid these things are too, right? So we've been spending a lot of time and energy learning about memory, how to make these things not forget, particularly how to share memories of an entire company, corporate organization across your entire company, and not just have it in some folder like some Obsidian vault that like you set it up this one time and like it kind of works for one person, but like how do you share that with the rest of your team? How do you share that with your VAs? How do you share that with your agencies? How do you share that with your freelancers, right? So we're going to be talking about how to set up memory for AI. I'm going to go into all the intricate details. I get a lot of questions. People really do not understand how AI memory works. So I'm going on Sunday, I'm going to be talking about all the little things there. And I'm going to show you, here's a little hack for you guys. Oops, wrong screen. There we go. So what you should do is grab this wiki, read it, or you don't even need to read it. Have the AIs read it, right? Here's the link to it. And here also, again, is a QR code. If you're watching the recording, you just scan that. It's just the same thing as the link there. And we're going to show how to set up a full structure for your entire business. And this is going to be a shared memory across your entire organization. So everyone on your team can have the same stuff. You can have everyone can know what your goals and vision are, what your strategy is, what your catalog looks like, who are your sourcing partners, your logistics, your finance, these things that you want to make discoverable to your team. If you don't want to make it discoverable, don't put it in here. So we're going to talk about how to edit and control and do this whole thing. So we're going to have a whole structure of how we set these things up, org charts and everything, just so that you have a common thing for all of your humans and all your humans AIs to know to all be on the same page. So that's what we're talking about on Sunday. And go read that thing about Carpathy because it's very interesting stuff.
Now you can probably see me. I'm extra happy over here, smile from side to side, because I'm a systems guy, and I can't wait to see this, Andrew. I can't wait till Sunday.
Dude, I get so many questions from people saying like, "Oh my God, this AI works so incredibly well on my laptop, but I cannot get my VA, my 2 employees, and my bookkeeper. Like they don't have the same memory as mine. And like, how do I get all these things to think the same or kind of like to know the same things about our company?" And that's what we're going to be talking about on Sunday.
So just one thing before you go, does this work when people don't add files to the wiki? No, like nobody on this call right now would do that, right, Kevin?
So no, we're building what he's talking about, Andrew, is we're building out on Dragonfish right now. We'll talk about this on another webinar, but we've got a badass system for doing emails, both intent and your current for getting you new leads and that aren't on your list and maximizing your list. And we've shown it to, we have 5 people in beta. I've shown it to 4 of them so far, and their jaws have dropped. But we're doing a lot of what people have been talking about here with MD files and with different things and different systems. Like this is how you have to talk. And so I think your talk is going to be very applicable to what we're doing because we have a team of people, and some of them need to use certain files, some of them need certain files, some of them need no access to this because it's like proprietary secret sauce. And so I think I'm
excited.
Super valuable. So I know I'll be there Sunday.
Sweet, excited.
Cool. All right, who's up next, Norm?
All right. Oh, we know this lady. Amy Weiss, where are you?
Oh my goodness, it's about time. No, I'm just kidding. I was like, man, Kevin, I'm almost last. Okay. It's been a crazy day today. I've had a couple of webinars today and a few client calls, so it's just been nuts. But Kevin, I never turned down a chance to be part of what Kevin and Norm are doing, and I'm so excited to be here and to also be sharing with you guys on Sunday. So I guess I better get to it, huh, Kevin? And Norm?
Go for it. Go for it.
All right. Well, first of all, I just have to say that I absolutely love what everybody has shared so far. And what I'm showing on Sunday is going to be similar in nature to what these folks are providing you kind of the quick, easy hacks to. But what makes what I'm showing different is that I'm actually teaching you how to fish. Instead of just giving you the fish, sometimes if somebody just gives you a prompt or gives you an automated process to do, and you don't know what went into it, you don't learn from the process, and then also you're not able to kind of catch when things go wrong or where they went wrong. So it's really important to understand how you can utilize AI to get the best possible results. So I'm going to share my screen now. Let's see here. And I'm not going to go through all these slides. I have a quick hack on images to show you guys today. But on Sunday, I'm going to be teaching you how to optimize not just for AI, but for conversion. So you're all being told the same thing. You're supposed to optimize for AI everywhere that you sell. But then you're coming to me and you're going, Amy, it made no difference in my sales. I used this person's optimizer. I used this person's optimizer. I didn't see any results. Well, let me tell you, when people are following my process for this, if you're optimizing for conversions, we're seeing 58% year-over-year growth with one client. We're seeing sales doubling and continue to go up and up and up, at least a 30% increase. So this is different. Everybody's been reaching out to me going, Amy, is your process the same as so and so and so? So far, I haven't found anyone who follows my process, but I do know that this process gets incredible results. So why does this process that I'm teaching on Sunday get results? Well, because you have to ask yourself, what are you optimizing for AI? If you're just taking your existing listing and your competitors' existing listings and you're not actually finding out what the customer cares about, you're not going to optimize the right things. So that's really important. Jay, your images were absolutely incredible. That video was so good. And I grabbed this screenshot from one of your prompts for creating great images, and it's great. Except what I'm going to change about this, guys, is I want you to have better data to feed in to be able to actually convert the customer and create the right images, right? So we want to stop asking AI to be the expert based on bad data. We want to stop prompting AI to take our current listing, our current reviews, our current competitors, and then generate images. Not that there's anything wrong with this. It's going to give you a better result than what you currently have. But if you find out, right now you have access to data that we've never had access to before. As Amazon sellers, we always just got keyword data, just basic data. We got review data. Now you can actually ask Alexa for shopping, what do customers care about? So those questions like Chris was calling out, right? Those questions, and I'm going to show you exactly how to unlock incredible gold on Sunday. So that being said, are any of you guys having any issues when you're creating images? This is something, all the people that have gone through my process, they're having trouble creating great images. And so I want to show you a quick hack today. We're going to cover this huge thing on Sunday, and I'm going to show you everything about how to optimize your listing and how to get great images. But how do you actually create great images? So I have a little document I put together today for you guys, and I'm going to give you the link to this document. Don't worry, but I'm going to do a quick live demo for you. So better AI images start with better reference images. So I found this listing on Amazon, right, for this lip balm. This main image is terrible, right? Like, look at this packaging. It's like half photoshopped. This lip balm itself, it looks kind of like it's not even on the top. It's not perfectly rounded. These flowers look kind of bad, right? She's got kind of a transparent thing over the top, so it just looks bad. Like, how could we clean this up? Well, the thing is, if you just give AI this image, if this is your source image, and the thing is, if we go through all of these, this soft beso lip balm canister here, it looks bad in all of these images. It's not properly rendered. So if you're like this, this seller, and you don't have a great source image for AI to use, if this is your only source image of your packaging, how do you clean that up? So this is what I'm going to show you today. I was able to get this result. This is my after result by cleaning up the individual elements of the listing. So I'm going to show you how I did that. So the first thing I did is I just copied and pasted right from the Amazon listing. I grabbed two images. I grabbed the first one and then the second one, right? This one kind of does a better job of showing the product. And I said, create a clean, professionally rendered image of the soft basil lip balm ball product in the attached photos to use as an Amazon main image. Do not change the product details or logo at all. Just make everything look better. Render a clean image of the lip balm ball itself with a cleaned up version of the exact packaging and a model with similar facial features holding the balm. Do not include any flowers or other accessories in the image outside of what I've already given you. Apply professional lighting and shadows appropriately and ensure the image is 1:1 and has a white background. So it cleaned it up a little bit, right? It looks a little bit better, but this package still looks bad, right? So what we need to do is we need to come up with a better reference image here. So what I did is I tried again. I attached just one reference image and I said, create a clean, professionally rendered image of the soft basil lip balm product in the attached photo to use as an Amazon main image. Do not change the product details at all. Just make everything look better. Remove the packaging, model, vanilla flowers, and all other accessories from the image. Just show the open lip balm with the closed lip balm showing the logo in front of it. Make sure the balm itself looks perfectly rounded and new. Apply professional lighting and shadows, yada, yada. So now we have a better reference image. Do you guys agree that this reference image of the balm itself could be great for creating lifestyle images, everything else? So the main issue a lot of sellers have when they're taking their AI images is that they don't have good reference images. And then what you get is sort of this, which is like, okay, but my packaging still looks bad. And it's not a great image. So once you have this better reference image, now you can save these reference images and you can attach them to your prompts. Okay. So that's what we did. And I then wanted to actually create a version of it with the vanilla flowers under it. So I then just copied and pasted this image and then attached the reference image. And this is just me prompting on my own, guys, right? So I said, create another version of the first attached image with vanilla flowers under it, like in the second attached image, but make the vanilla flowers look even better. Do not include the packaging, bottle, or other accessories from the image, blah, 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 right? And it created this, which is okay, but I feel like the flowers are a little bit too much, right? So now I bet a lot of you, and I would love to hear from you in chat, I bet a lot of you guys have run into similar issues where you're like, okay, I got this far, but what do I do now? How do I actually get the images that I want? And so this is where the second half of my hack comes in, you guys. I want you to use the 2 conversation rule. So you use 1 conversation to create the prompts for the image generation, and this is detailed in this document that I'm giving you. So you create your better reference images, and I just did a live demo of that, and then there's some prompt variations. But then you can actually refine those images with the 2 conversation method, because what I don't want to happen here is AI to start hallucinating and I just lose everything, right? I now need AI's help. And you guys can use ChatGPT too, but ChatGPT is not great at generating prompts. It is better at generating images. So this was ChatGPT's version of this, and this was ChatGPT's version of the product itself. So then you can mix around with that and use these various reference images. But I'm sure you guys have run into this problem. So what you can do now is you can take inside of Gemini, or Claude works really great for this as well. You have a prompt generation conversation. So what you do is I just wrote right here, I need help with image prompts. I want to create another version of the product in image 1 with vanilla flowers like in image 2, but I want it to look better as my main image for my Amazon listing. I want the soft beso closed balm to be next to the balm on the left instead of slightly in front of it. And I want a few vanilla flowers under it, and also like how the swipe of balm is shown in reference image 3. So I found this other reference image on Amazon. I like this little swipe, right? I wanted to add that to my image. So I asked it, can you help me with an image prompt, including reference images I should attach, and ensure I can achieve this? Do not create an image. First, make your suggestions, and then after I approve, write me a prompt to get that result. So it made some suggestions, I approved, and it gave me the prompt. So what it does though, when it gives, on Gemini specifically, when it gives you the prompt, it will name the images. So I replied to it and I said, can you actually describe the images I should attach just to make sure that I'm understanding the image names? So it did that, but then it actually generated the image. Sometimes it will do this, you guys. So I had to correct it. I said, okay, but I didn't ask you to create the image. I asked you for the updated prompt. Please just give me the prompt and images to attach and reference those images in your prompt as the first attached image, second attached image, etc. So now it gave me the prompt, you guys. And all I did now is I went over here and I copied and pasted that prompt in and attached the images that it told me to attach. And this was the result that it came up with. Really, really beautiful, right? So, and even the swipe is even in the right color. So now if I had an issue with this image, All I would have to do, if I don't know how to prompt it, how to correct it, right? Let the AI tell me how to correct it. All I would do is simply copy this image, come back over here to my prompt conversation, paste the image in, tell it the issues that I'm having with it, and say, okay, help me with a prompt to, let's say, move the dab of gel to the left, whatever, right? And then again, what reference image should you attach? All of that. And you're going to get better images this way. So this is my little hack that I'm sharing today. The QR code for this is right here, bit.ly/AH images. And you can scan that QR code, and I will copy this too and throw it in the chat for you guys. But that's just for this document here. And I have a lot of the prompts in there for you to use. But hopefully this helps you create better images. And I'm super excited to connect with you guys on Sunday and show you how to get these incredible results with your listings.
That
Awesome
was
stuff.
perfect.
That's good.
You know, my wife comes down once in a while and she goes, "Who are you screaming at?" I'm having conversations and sometimes they turn ugly.
All right, I thought you were going to say, Norm, she's coming down and say, can you do a prompt to fix that? To fix that.
Well, Norm, I think you could use this technique, just apply it. You could
Oh,
even
yeah.
ask AI how to use this technique and apply it to your situation.
But we always get into arguments and it always wins.
I love it. And you guys, one more thing I have to tell you guys is what I have my clients do sometimes is just ship me their product from. So this also works. I showed you today how you could use the main images from a listing and like create better images. But I just have my clients sometimes send me their products from Amazon. I will literally unbox them. One of my clients had a journal and her photography images showed the journal all wrinkly in the corners and everything because you can't always get that perfect with photography, right? So I told her, I was like, forget reshooting it because a lot of my clients are like, should I reshoot all my photography? I'm like, no, don't reshoot it. Just send it to me from Amazon. I literally took pictures of it from my phone on the table, uploaded it to Gemini. I was just like, here, make a clean, professionally rendered main image for this product. And it was beautiful. And I showed it to her and she was like, wow, I never have to hire a photographer again. This is incredible. That's it. So you're going to get better images if you use better reference images. And then you could use like Jay's technique, right? To just crush it. I love it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Amy.
Or we have somebody else that's about to talk about images, I think, that's got some pretty cool techniques too, right, Norm? You've seen a few.
Right. Yeah, he left. It was a teaser just before the podcast started. Or the webinar started. So next up, and this is our final speaker, by the way, is John Espinal.
Hello. What's going on, everybody? Everyone's talking about images. Do I have anything to show now? Is it even anything worth showing? No, I'm kidding. All good stuff. But yeah, let me share my screen. We're going to hop right into it.
Well, like we talked about on BDSC yesterday, on the call that we did an image optimization call with our three people, and we're like, people eat with their eyes first. So it's important. You can never have enough tactics and strategies on when it comes to images because it's the number one thing that drives conversion.
Oh, 100%. And I'm in the camp of stop renting, start owning when it comes to your images. All these tools that are out there are great and they're good for some people, but some folks, some operators, some brand owners just want to own it in-house with their own tools and not pay tokens, API credits, all that kind of cool stuff. So what we're going over today is how to utilize Codex to get all this stuff done. And it's actually a really amazing tool. Everyone's been hearing about Claude Code. This is like the OpenAI or ChatGPT version. The reason why I'm tripling down on this and everything else is just because I handle a lot of creative stuff at the agency I work at, Velocity Sellers, all this other stuff. So let's hop right into it. So you could see over here, I'm going to show a couple different examples and I'm going to give away a skill today and more on Sunday, but one today. So when you take a look at this over here, this is a skill that's designed for creating an image stack. So think about if you're having an image stack right now on Amazon and it's not good, or if you don't have one. Instead of going through the rabbit hole of saying, here are my brand guidelines, try it again. No, that hallucinated, try it over here. The skill is basically going to do it for you. So you can see you enable the skill here, put the URL, because Codex is really good at just reading Amazon when Claude and other things kind of crap out, and give it a source image right here of the bottle. So today we're talking spicy, folks. We're talking hot sauce, and you could see in 21 minutes, which seems long in AI, but there's a lot of quality control and checks around this, that from that we're able to get a complete image stack. So on brand, no hallucinations, high fidelity, accuracy. So this was scorpion sauce. These are the ingredients. I double checked. Few drops go far. The hottest sauce yet. Tacos, bowls, heat for pizza, wings. You can see this is everything is being done comprehensively inside of here. So even
John,
build.
I think it's important. Sorry to interrupt, but you said you just passed over, but I think it's an important concept that while you have this up, you mentioned high fidelity. And
Yeah.
can you explain what that means to these people and the difference it makes in these images because it's the way they pop and stuff? I mean, can you just explain how important that is?
Yeah, so that's like a good like trigger word to put into any prompt that you're doing, saying things like photorealism or 4K upscale, but high fidelity. When you build out prompts for images and you have it lock high fidelity, as long as you're giving it a good reference point, like what Amy was saying before about, having good images from good references. So garbage in, garbage out. So as long as it has a good reference image and you're locking in high fidelity, it's basically meaning that it's not going to stray or vary anything like that. Like it's going to stay strictly on those guidelines. So that's what this is doing, right? So you can see over here, flavor responsibly. So you can see it's not a run-of-the-mill kind of basic image stack that you're just going to get from trying it yourself. I love Canva, but even if you're trying it in Canva, it's not going to be this good, because you can see over here what this is going to do. Because with AI, there's a lot of, and Codex is really good at it for checks and balances. So if you just say a prompt, hey, go make me these images, here's what I want. Cool, it's just going to spit out anything. But when you build out skills to then start with basic comp research, then doing a creative brief for itself before it's going and generating these images. So the skill is actually doing the work of like an admin person or a junior designer, where they're queuing up these creative briefs over here, then actually even doing the prompts itself, and then the strategy for the stack. And then the really important thing is the QA checklist. So we don't want to just garbage in, garbage out. We want Codex, the agent, to go and actually QA everything that's putting out there. So that's the image stack, right? And I'm going to show you another one where it's image stack rollout. So now imagine with the hot sauce, let's say, for example, hey, that's great if I'm Tabasco and I'm saying, okay, well, I have all these other different flavor variations for this hot sauce. Cool, you made that in 21 minutes. Do I have to go and do that again for 4 or 5 different flavor variations? No, of course not. This is 2026. We have AI. So what this is a skill that's going to enable rolling out for different colors, flavors, sizes, textures, patterns, scents, all that kind of stuff. So essentially what this is doing is locking in, going back to that high fidelity, locking in high fidelity of what good looks like. So now we're not telling Codex again, I like this, and then it could stray away a little bit here and there. No, we want consistency, continuity across the flavors. So we're enabling this skill, giving it the frame of reference, even though we are giving it the URLs over here. But I always want to just make sure it has a crisp, clean photo, especially with labels for readability. And I'm like, okay, cool. Do this for the garlic, the habanero, and the roasted. And you can see 56 minutes later. So it wasn't quick, but I'm always very apprehensive when AI is too quick. Too quick, you didn't think about it. So for 56 minutes, this ran until it gave this output over here. So now I have, and I'll look at the individual images, but holistically, you could see now this is the savory garlic, this is the tropical heat, this is the roasted pepper. So you can see from high level, everything is on brand. Everything is continuity. The only things that are changing across the stack are the flavor profiles, even the food that's being shown. So if I go into this, and you can see it's still adhering to that creative brief, the rollout brief, the image stack system. So when you go and look at like this over here, it's going to show everything related to garlicky things you would put on, like pasta, pizza, Italian kind of stuff like that, or American food. But when you go into tropical heat with like mango and papaya, it's like, okay, this is like tropical food. Like now I want shrimp. So shrimp and all these kind of like bowls and stuff like that. So you could see that it's bringing in all those key references that are relevant while adhering and locking to what good looks like. Right. So that's the image stack engine and image stack rollout. But if you notice, if you're paying attention, folks, if you notice, you'd probably be like, well, wait a minute, John, where's the main image? Why don't you always talk about main images? Where's the main image? It's purposely left out of these skills. The reason being is the main image it's very dependent on the category, the product. So there's a lot of different ways you could do the main hero image that you don't want it locked into the image stack. So this is the skill we're going to be giving away in a second, is going to be the product pinion main image lab. This is a really cool one, right? Especially if you use product pinion. Even if you don't use product pinion, you could still use it. But if you're a product pinion user, you get even more value out of it. So you can see I took the same thing, enabled this skill, which I'm going to drop in the comments in a second, gave it the image of, this time I did the roasted pepper one. I felt a little bit roasty, and the URL. And then what this did was in 6 minutes, it spit out over here the diagnosis, and then baked into this skill, me and Matt at Product Opinion developed like a big book of CTR and main image like guidebook. So it's over 50 plus different tactics for optimizing your hero image. So the skill has them all baked into it. That's cool as it is. But what's even cooler is ice cold. No, what's even cooler is the fact that it's actually going to look at the link and look at the image and then scan through all those tactics and pick the best ones that fit your category. So there's, I think like humanize it is one of them, or ingredient it, right? So if you're selling something that's like, let's say a dog leash, it's not going to pick ingredient it and put like nylon behind there, right? So you can see for this one, it picked tilt it, ingredient it, splash it, sunburst it, and runoff label it. Now, they're not all amazing, but they're all, I would say at least 75% are solid, right? So it has a strategy over here for tactics to avoid and the concepts over here, but then it also gives you the testing brief. So now when you generate these images, you can go to like Product Opinion or even like an Amazon MYE and test these images, and it tells you exactly how and the strategy for that. So for this one, we ran it and we got tilt it, we got ingredient it, we got splash it, and this is Matt's favorite, sunbursted. It looks very holy. And then label it. Runoff label it? What do we call it? Runoff label it, right? So that's that's actually a really good one. You would just fine tune a little bit more. And that's where Codex is really good, because it spits out something like this and the label might look a little wonky. And you could say, just flip the label around or make the label wrap the bottle more and it'll do it for you. But something like this gets you, at least for your main hero image, which is the most important image, in my opinion, really quickly there fast. And if you're using, and you might not be using Codex and you're like, I don't want to use another tool. If you're already using ChatGPT on the $20 plan, which most people are, you already have Codex. You already have it. So I'm not saying go to the $100 plan, but even on a $20 plan, hop into Codex, run this skill. You got some main images. Like I said, even if you don't test on Product Opinion, but I'll show you this too. Kevin, just yell at me when I'm out of time because I could talk forever. I ran this one. I did Jeff Bezos a favor. We took the vitamin C gummy over here, ran the same thing just like this, 5 minutes over here. And you could see it picked different tactics, right? So it picked ingredient, dead pixel space, tilt it, sunburst it, and unpackage it. And the strategy is over here. And then look at this. That's solid. That would stand up against most of the crap that you see on the SERP for a lot of these things. Even the tilt, right, is a pattern interrupt. The sunburst, I don't really know. The dead pixel space over here, yes, it's small, but that's very easy. You just tell it, okay, I like this one, just make the text bigger, and it's going to do it. And then this one is the cap off. So a lot of cool things when it comes to main hero image, image stack rollout. And I didn't even get to this, which is now doing A plus. So premium style A plus content built inside this skill. Same thing, call upon the skill, give a URL in this, and you're getting something like this, which is solid AF. The kids that know, they know. So the reason why this is good too, because you could go and do this in ChatGPT, but you have to know the sizing requirements. And then cool, you have this one big image. You then have to go to another tool and slice it in 5 pieces because these modules are 1464 by 600. This is 1464 by 3000. So it's 5 modules in one. The skill is going to split it up. So it's going to give you the full version, and then it's going to give you the individual versions where you can then upload it into A+, where it looks like one big D2C pager. And the cool thing too is it even gives you the mobile version. But you could see here, this looks like crap. But it fixed itself because of the QA and the QC checklist. And it said, no, we can't do that. I got to make sure the aspect ratio looks good. And then it goes ahead and does this. So am I running out of time yet? Can I show one more?
I think, yeah, we're getting close to time. You got a quick one?
I got a quick one. And I'll talk about more of this on Sunday. For the folks doing stuff off Amazon and you're like, hey, I need meta ads. I don't know how to do meta ads. I need a ton of them. My agency needs like 75 assets tomorrow to run all these ads. Cool. Amazon Premium Social Pack product link. I'm going to go right here. It's going to spit out all the meta and Instagram and Facebook ads that you need. You can see they're not based on like an infographic in a stack. They're based on more ad copy. So lots of cool stuff like that. Again, I'm going to stop there because I could talk forever, but I'm going to drop the link for the product opinion main image lab skill for you guys to go and download it with instructions on how to use it. I will say though, you could use this in Claude Code as long as you have an API set up to go ahead and actually do the images. But last thing I'll say is this, is you aren't paying for any API tokens or credits because it's all internal inside of Codex. I'm done.
Awesome stuff. Thanks, John. Appreciate it. Cool. Well, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I know I've seen a few comments in the chat. A few of these are wows that have been in the chat. Just some of the stuff that's been shared today, and this was just quick. It went a little longer than expected, but the stuff is just too good to actually cut some of this off. But that's why we're doing something on Sunday, because on Sunday we have 9 hours. So on Sunday, May 31st, that's this coming Sunday, we're doing 9 hours with all these speakers, including Ritu, who wasn't able to be here live. We had a recording. She'll be live on Sunday. And Andrew Bell, who will be here live. And then from Zoma, we'll have Max, the owner of the company. And we had Chris that subbed in for him today. So we're going to have 9 speakers, each speaking for about an hour, going into detail on some of what they showed here. Plus, like they said, a lot of additional stuff. I mean, Amy is going to be speaking on why your AI listing optimization keeps failing your sellers. I mean, she's going to be going through all this, all the stuff like she talked about. She's going to go be diving deep on Sunday. We have Matt. You know, he showed you the really cool SQP thing. He's going to show you how he showed you how to do it manually. He's going to show you how to do it automated, and plus a whole bunch more stuff, and just turn around your PPC and turn around your optimization. What do you do if you're actually? He showed he was above the average rate for the market, but what if you're below? What do you do? He's gonna be showing you a lot of that kind of cool stuff. Then you have Jay. I mean, Jay showed that process to create that whole image stack in what was it, 2 minutes, a minute, whatever the crazy thing is, in the video too, which is actually really good. Like Amy said, he's going to be showing you a lot of more cool stuff that you can use and how you can use Claude Code to just put the gas on all this. It's going to be amazing. They'll be going into detail. And then we're going to have Ritu coming on, show how she's doing all of her automation, automating her agency, automating her work stacks, which you could also do, how to produce images at scale and test them and actually come back. And you'll be the beautiful thing about this is Ritu might show you how to do these images at scale. And then you can take bits and pieces of hers and combine it with Amy's and combine it with Jay's and combine it with John's. And you have this magic freaking system that nobody has, that you can just go out there and crush it. That's the beauty of having slightly different approaches. You can find the best and combine them into one. Then you have Chris that's going to go into all that detail, like he talked about, of Claude skills and provide all the MD files and the skills and all the stuff that he talked about. He's going to go deep into that. You have Andrew, who wasn't on here today, but he analyzed the patent. He's got the blueprint for Alexa shopping. He's there's probably nobody no bigger expert out there than Andrew for this. So he's going to be on showing you exactly the blueprint, like straight from the horse's mouth, what you need to do to actually optimize and boost your sales. And then you have Max, who runs. They do stuff for yeah, big Fortune 500 companies. This isn't. They don't just do stuff for Amazon guys, but they're dealing with Fortune 500 companies and optimizing them for AEO. And they're going to be showing you specific step-by-step things. Do this, do this, do this. Here's exactly what you need to do. And then you have John, who you just saw. That's going to be he's like the image magician, and he's going to be showing you crazy stuff that you can do. Like he just said, he could talk forever, but he's going to have an hour to talk and show you cool tactics and step by step and actually do it, not just a bunch of slides, but like here's the prompt, here's what you do. You do this, you do this, here's the result. He's going to be showing you really, really cool stuff using Codex. And then you have Andrew that just dropped some really cool stuff. I know Norm is giddy about this one, and all of you should be because it's systemizing this stuff and like getting your AI and your tools into a place where your team can use some of it but not have access to others, and everybody's consistent across the whole board. It's going to be amazing. So we're doing that all Sunday, 9 hours this Sunday. You have no distractions. It's not a typical work day unless you're in the Middle East, or and so this is going to be 9 hours of really, really cool stuff. Now, there is a price for this, and the price for this is $399 to come. There will be replays of it. It's going to be all day on May 31st, all day on May 31st for just $399. And so if you can't make the whole thing, there will be recordings. And so if you're like, I can only pop in for a couple hours, or that day I got to deal with my kids or something, don't worry. You still get the recordings. It's best to be there live if you can. But if you can't, everything is recorded. Now, just a warning, this is not for beginners. So if you're like, I just started selling yesterday, and your eyes are glazing over, you're going to glaze over more. But this is for serious sellers. So if you're serious about being in that top 1%, like I talked about earlier, this is where you want to be. You want to be with us on Sunday because you're going to have an edge that 99% of the other sellers are not going to have. You're going to be that step ahead. You're going to have the tools, the access to things that are just going to make your productivity, make your conversions, make your, excuse me, make your sales go higher. So like I said, you can get all of this for $399. But you know what? Since you guys are on this stage for the last 2 hours on this, I'm actually going to do it. Norm and I said, hey, we'll do this for $299. So for just $299, you can actually get access to all this live, the recordings, get your questions answered, go deep on this stuff. And you're not going to use everything you learn on there, but you're going to pick one, two, three things that are going to move the needle if you implement them that day or even the next day. So it's all this is $299. It's all day on May 31st. I'm about to give you the link so you can do it. But Norm, the people stayed here for a couple hours. Do you think it's going to be worth $300?
Kevin, it's going to be worth a hell of a lot more.
No, we did this before, and when people were saying that's too cheap, you should. What I got out of this is way too cheap. You should charge $500 or $1,000. And right, no. Money's tight. Tariff issue, but now you can get your money back with what Andrew showed you. It's too tight, but so I think we should I put the link up at $299, Norm?
No, don't do that. Come on.
Why not?
Don't be a Scrooge.
Don't be a Scrooge? Why?
Yeah.
Don't be I mean, $299 is a really good deal.
I think you could do better, Kev.
You think I could all right, so let's not do $299. Let's just say if you want to come on Sunday, how about I give you what should we do, Norm? Like 10% off that? 20%?
You're so Scrooge-ish. I think you can do better than that. Just do it.
Just do it? I don't know. All right. How about 50% off? So
That's
all
good.
of that for just $149. But if you want the first 199, I'm sorry, not 199, first 99, you can do that. And I don't know if you saw the WhatsApp message I sent you, Norm, but we've already had like 9 people buy, because when you exit the webinar, it actually sends you to the Shopify page. So there's already been 9 people that have bought this because they left the webinar early. And when you exit the webinar, it pops up the link. And so I was checking that just 10 minutes, 15 minutes ago, and there's already been several people buy. So if you're one of the first 99 and you go to that link below, amzmarketer.com/AI, you can actually, Norm, if you want to, you have that link, you can paste it in the chat as well. You paste that, go to that link, or Norm's going to paste it into the chat. Sign up. It's everything on Sunday. You get the replays. There's no extra charge for the replays. You get the replays. Be there live so you can ask questions and be on the cutting edge, or step out if you have to. This is the order of when they're going to be talking. So Norm's going to post that link.
I'm trying to find it.
Let me give you the order of when they're going to be talking. So this is the order. So if you're like, well, shoot, I really want to see what Jay is talking about. Well, he's going to be talking at 2 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. So you can plan your day. Hopefully you're there for everything. But it's a long day. So if you can't, you're like, oh man, I really want to see what Ritu's doing. Well, she's going to be talking at 6 o'clock Eastern. So that's the schedule right there. If you're watching this on the replay, I don't know if that price is going to be available at 50% off. It depends on how many people are ordering right now. The price is going to be $399. It might go, we might offer $100 off, so it might be $299. So you might have missed out because you weren't here live, but you can always scan the QR code, or you can go to the link that.
Hey, Kev, I can't find that link. Sorry.
You can't find it. It's in the WhatsApp.
Oh, that's why.
It's in the WhatsApp. So he's got normal post that. Here's the link again. It's amzmarketer.com/AI. And Norm will post it in the chat. And so and the link that he's posting in the chat automatically applies a coupon discount. So you don't have to put the discount code of Misfits50. That's the discount code is Misfits50 for Marketing Misfits, 50% off. But if you click the link that's in the chat, it'll automatically apply that discount code for you. So that's what we're doing on Sunday. All 8 of the people that were here today, plus Andrew Bells, that wasn't able to make it today because he just took a new job as head of AI for a new company that sees. Congratulations to him on that. So that's the deal. So hopefully we'll see a bunch of you on Sunday for the full training. At least you can sign up and get the replays if you can't make the whole thing or make any of it. And you can get that price if you're one of the first 99. So Norm, I think we had a few questions, right? I don't know if we want to go ahead.
Yeah, we got a couple of questions. The first one was earlier on. It said, what about privacy? If we connect AI to our own data, doesn't that expose your data? And I think that was for Matthew.
Still here, getting dark. Yeah, I think it was kind of at the start, but yeah, certainly when we're talking about connecting MCPs, like obviously the AI is more rich with your data. I think everyone has their own risk tolerances with that. Like in this internet generation, I kind of feel like the chicken's already fled the coop on your data. It's as Kevin said, the amounts that the Amazon and everyone has on us already is pretty scary. So I think it is up to your own risk tolerance. I think a lot of these big AI models, they'll post a lot about how they protect your data, and it's about which one you kind of believe in on that point of view. But yeah, there is obviously a risk there.
Very good. And there's still a ton of people on the webinar. So if you do have any questions, you can still post them. And
I see a quick question, Norm, from E10 and Mendel. They're saying on the recordings for Sunday, the tools like if someone mentions a link or they give away something, will that be included in the recordings? Yes, we're going to do our damnedest to actually copy and paste all those and pull those out. So if you're watching the recording, next week and someone says, "Oh, here's the link. It's in the chat. Go grab it out of the chat." You're like, "Well, there is no chat. I'm watching the recording." We're going to do our best to grab every single one of those out of there and include those in like a document file for you so that you can actually you can make sure you have all those. So that is going to be in there. So, I'm not going to say I won't miss one, but if I do, you can always message us, say, "Hey, you forgot this one right here." And we'll get that for you. So that will be, we will do everything we can. Now, those will not necessarily be in the recordings of this webinar. I'm not promising that. I'm promising that for Sunday. So for Sunday, we'll copy and paste all the things that are shared in the chat so people watching the recordings have access to them.
All right. And then for Sunday, what time, Eastern Standard Time, is it starting?
It starts at 11 o'clock Eastern time, which is New York time. So if you need to ask ChatGPT, if you're in Turkey, like what time is 11 p.m. Eastern New York time in Turkey, so you'll know what time we're starting. So this was the I'll go back one slide. Oops, one slide. This is the time that each speaker is speaking, assuming they all show up on time, which they usually do. So at 11 a.m. Eastern. See, it says at the top all times Eastern, so you can screenshot this if you want. So if there's a specific speaker you're like, I really want to see them live because I got 5 questions for them, make sure you're there at that time. Ideally, you're there the whole day, but I understand not everybody can make it the whole day. But if there's someone in particular, this is the time that each one of them is speaking. So you can screenshot this to make sure that you're doing that.
And the beautiful part about this is I've been on so many webinars where they show you everything, but nothing's actionable. Everything here is actionable. You know, if you're one of these people that have great intentions, well, you know, you're paying and you're getting a ton of information. But if you want to have actionable steps and get to that next level, it's going to be fantastic. We did this back in July and we couldn't believe the results. So, anyways,
Me and you were taking notes, Norm.
yeah, we were.
I mean, me and you, and like I remember afterwards, we got on a quick like recap call. We're like, all right, we got to implement this, this, and this.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, we were taking notes.
And you just hit on taking action, and that's what it's going to take. If you're coming out, take action. If it's only one thing or 2 things, just take action on those 2 things. Okay, so Albert was asking about Max's deep dive, and that's all part of the webinar, so we don't have to get into that. This is a question for Jay. What do you recommend to use for to generate similar videos to the one you just showed? I'm not sure if Jay's still on. He is.
Yeah, I'm here. I didn't understand the question exactly. Um, the best
I'm
video.
thinking that it's just if there's any other ways of generating these videos outside of what you've shown, but
So I'm
what
gonna
would
say
you need
that
that?
today the
Yeah.
best video model is Seedance 2. I guess in a few days it's gonna be VO4. But yeah, but
Yeah.
any tool like GenWrap, what I showed, they have Seedance over there. Xfield also have it. So yeah, today it's the best to use Seedance, but GenWrap, for example, you know how to plan the video for Amazon, like it did with the A+. So you're using the power of ChatGPT for the images and the power of Seedance for the video, but you prepare the plan, the storyboard, and yeah.
Okay.
Also just to note, I see a few comments here. Someone said they just paid, but they didn't get any details. We will be emailing you the link on Saturday. So on Saturday, you will get a Zoom link from us. So if you sign up, don't worry. We have you. If you're worried if it did go through, you can just check your credit card real quick and you'll see that it went through. But we will actually email you the complete everything on Saturday. You'll get a special email from Norm and I that will have here's the link of where to go. Here's the exact schedule. So don't worry about that. Go ahead, Norm.
Okay, so Chunlin, what will John cover in particular, please? What skills will be there? Will he share? I don't think John. I mean, is there a set lineup?
No, I mean the heavy hitters are not really shareable, but a lot of what I can do is the high level stuff about how you can actually develop those for yourself 100%. But I am going to have some maybe 2 or 3 other really cool ones to send out revolving around creative and codecs for Amazon.
Okay, I just saw some. This is going back to Jay. Where can I find GenRup?
Yeah, I shared the link also in the barcode. I can share it again, but
Perfect.
Yeah, he
in
shared an
my
SOP.
link,
You shared an
what?
SOP that has it in there, right?
Yeah, I have a SOP in my link landing page that I built with all the steps how to connect it to the MCP. it's a beta version. It just did it lately, the MCP to connect it to Claude. But yeah, I highly recommend, especially the A plus. It's the best. But also the video and the images also
Can you maybe
getting
put the
better
link
every day.
into the chat here for the people that maybe missed it or something? Or are you able to put that link from the QR code, just paste it into the chat?
Yeah, I'm gonna share it again.
Awesome. I've got a question too. I just heard about yesterday from someone that's doing a lot of image stuff about the new Higgsfield supercomputer. Have you played with that? Have you played with that, Norm?
I just saw it.
Yeah, they're raving about it. They're like, that's game changing. I've not. I was at dinner last night. Someone like, oh, dude, have you checked out Higgsfield supercomputer? It's called supercomputer. I was like, no. He's like, you need to put that in your newsletter or whatever. This is like game changing. So I don't know if Jay maybe has looked at it, but and I just saw someone posted here that I don't know if they were joking or if it was serious. I haven't been able to look at the news, but Opus 4.8 just came out.
I saw that. I wasn't sure
I don't know
if
if
that
that was
was
a
a
joke or
joke.
if that's for real, but it wouldn't surprise me. It's
Uh,
changing it fast. Thanks, Jay. Jay just posted the link for those of you if you missed it earlier for connecting the MCP. MCP is ridiculously powerful, especially if you have a basic understanding of AI. What you can do with it for your business is insane. Um, so I think that's the thing I'm most excited about across everything right now is MCP.
Okay, Daniela, I think Kevin just answered your question. Saturday, you're going to be getting the information.
Yeah, check your, and you'll get it from it'll probably be from my billion dollar sellers or AMZ marketer email. Just, if you don't see something, you can hit your check your spam, or if in a worst case, just reply to like one of the emails that you got promoting this webinar. If it just hasn't shown up by Sunday morning and you're freaking out, and I will see those and I'll get that to you. Just if it disappears in the ether somewhere of a email.
And I'm not sure
And make
who
sure
this
you
is.
check the email address that you used on Stripe. That's an important thing. Some of you
Oh, yeah.
may have signed up for the webinar as john@john.com, but your Stripe is under johnk@john.com. So make sure you check whatever your Stripe account is. And some of you probably forgot. You're like, I don't know. I signed up for like 10 years ago. I don't know. Whatever your Stripe is under is what you'll get the email at. So be sure to check for that.
Okay, and I'm not sure who Nadia is asking, but is there a limit? Is there a limit you recommend for how many consecutive prompts to run before starting a new session in Claude?
Anybody want to take that?
Oh, there's John.
Yeah, you got to look at your context window. So any of the other gurus on here can chime in, but I know when I hit a 50% or at least 50% context window on a conversation, I start a new conversation. Otherwise, you get context rot.
Or if you're changing subjects, changing topics, if you're working on the same image or the same image stat product over and over, you can keep that in there. But as soon as you switch to a brand new product, I would switch. I would open a new chat or a
You
brand
can
new
also,
subject.
yeah, you can also do compact, command compact, and then it's compacting it. And in the left or in the right corner, you can see a circle, and press on it, you can see the percentage of the
Jay, what do you wait till? Do you wait till at least 50%, 70% before you compact for context rot?
No, I'm not like whenever I feel like it's getting slowly, or I'm not always checking the number. I usually starting new sessions all the time. I'm not staying because it's the same folder and everything stays there. But yeah, sometimes if I already in the middle of conversations, I just gonna press compact. Yeah.
Yeah, Shane. Shane's asking. You'll get the link on Saturday. Thanks for signing up, Shane. That link will come out Saturday. If you're concerned that you're registered, I know sometimes Stripe it doesn't always send a email confirmation for some reason. I don't know why that is. Maybe a setting we have wrong on our end, but you can always check your credit card. Just if the charge came through at 149.50, you're good, and we got you in the system. If you don't see that charge on your credit card that you use, then you could try again. But the email to sign up to log in for everything on Sunday for the workshop will be sent on Saturday. It would be sent on Saturday. One more time, just before we go here in just a few minutes, if we've got a couple more questions, Norm, we can do a couple more and then we'll wrap it up. But here's the schedule. So if you're wanting to like really see somebody, you're really and you don't have all day, this you can note these times. This is Eastern time, so New York time. So you can adjust that to your time zone. So if there's someone you really want to see live because you want to ask them questions, make sure you're there at that time. Otherwise, you'll get the replays. And like I said, we will do everything we can to include any resources that are shared in the chat along with the replay so that you're not missing out on that. Yeah, a couple more questions.
I think so far it looks like we're pretty good.
Karen says, go play with supercomputer. It made this video off of only my listing link. Zero prompting, not quite sure what the story is here, but this video is impressive. So, thanks for sharing that, Karen. I'm just clicking the link right now to check. I'll save that to watch here in just a
It's pretty cool.
For the cat. Okay. Awesome. Thanks, Karen. Just went to a speakeasy with Karen in Madrid last week. So good to see you, Karen. Thanks for joining us. All right, Norm, is there any other questions? Or we should we say we'll see everybody on Sunday.
I think that's what we should say.